Hello and welcome back to my channel. If the audio in this video sounds a little strange, it is because I am literally under the table hiding from the Roomba, because my mom decided that this is a great time for her to clean. And now I am terrified and in the trenches. It is very fun to be out of here, kinda. I mean, my neck is a little... but otherwise, I'm okay. Today, I am depicting you guys I guess I'm showing you guys the process of making a failed artwork. I don't know how to describe why it's failed. It's just not... God, I think it's approaching. If you hear shh getting louder and louder, it's probably the Roomba approaching. Oh God, terrifying. I'm like the cat, because our cat, if I have a picture of it, I'll put it right here. Our cat, like, goes on this tower of just things to hide away from the Roomba. It's very cute and very funny. I wanted to talk about this sort of failed artwork. I don't know, I just consider it failed because there's something about it that I'm not particularly fond of visually. I think my main problem here is the character that is sort of last moment type of thing. And it just, I don't know, it just didn't look good. I wasn't having a lot of fun drawing it. But, so for this one, it was this idea, this was obviously for class as well. It's pretty much about, this idea of, like, doors and a portal. And I was like, okay, why have one portal when you can have multiples that look, like something terrible is going on inside of them? And yeah, for this one, I don't know, I just thought it would be funny to have this like funny, well, it's not very funny, it's actually quite morbid, but it's like this series of towers that you have to climb in order to like get to the other side. We don't know what's on the other side necessarily, but there are doors that seem inviting but actually are leading you to your demise, you know, the way usually doors do. And yeah, and I don't know, I just wanted to play around with that idea and play around with style a little bit and just see where I get. I do like it mostly, it's just that there are part of it that I just think aren't quite neat enough. Like, they could be way better. Like, for example, I really like the doors themselves, like this idea that they are sort of this weird dimensions where you can only recognize pattern, but you know, they don't feel not real per se, but like it doesn't feel like it's part of this reality. And I do like the towers in the back that you can see sort of shifting and like in tone and like sort of slowly going away and further away from the foreground and like implying that there's a lot of these towers and many people are climbing them. There are parts of it that I think are nice and I would love to revisit in later artworks, I guess, but I don't know, something about it makes me go because I think the problem started precisely when I got into like the shading part. Because I was like, okay, this is fine, right? Like, I started being like, this is fine, this is good. And then as I was doing the shading, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I have no idea what I want to do with the shading. So that's problem number one, right? Because I tried to do a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different things visually, and they just didn't work out. I did glow, I did more like solid colors. It just, I don't know, something about it just didn't turn out well. Then came in the character, and like at first I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, this is interesting. You have a little character that's sort of like in these tattered clothes and is just like trying to climb this poor tower and is absolutely miserable while doing so. And yeah, anytime I look at it, I'm just like, God, I fucking hate this character. It just, because of the way I did the lighting, it just looks flat. Like, the character looks flat and doesn't look like it has a 3D form. And I hate it. I don't think it looks good. The pose is not dynamic enough. I do hate, I think some, like perspective that I did also kind of failed. But there are, like, cool parts about it. Like, again, I like this conceptually, and I like some stylistic choices that I did, but like overall it's just not quite the right vibe, not exactly what I was going for artistically. And it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those works where it's like, I'm not gonna put it on my Instagram because I don't want to, and I think it looks bad, and only good art goes onto my Instagram. But I think I still learned the thing about art that you consider bad in the moment when you create it is that you still learn something from it, right? Like, even if it's not necessarily exactly what you expected it to be, you still learned how to, I guess, create receding backgrounds and how to not do lighting, and how to sort of neaten up your art in a more visually dynamic and visually interesting way than anyone else would. Oh, anyone else would, because you're just so special as an artist, oh my god. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I was like, this is not my favorite art, but I still learn things from it. And I think I will encourage all of you guys who are doing art and are maybe struggling with it, just use every artwork as a stepping stone and not necessarily the ideal, because in reality we're all gonna die. I'm just kidding. Well, we are, but because, in the end of the day, you will always improve and it'll always get better each time you draw and each time you create. It's sort of a matter of time. So you're gonna get what you want to get, and you shouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, that's my nugget of wisdom for you for this video. Should I bitch about my life a little? I feel like I did that a lot last video, so I don't want to shove that onto you guys again. I think I'm, from last video, I think I've gotten better emotionally, because that was quite disastrous for me. I was very much in a slum for a long time, and now I think I'm better. I think I'm improving. I think things are getting more promising for me, and I think I'm good. Because basically I'm slowly getting over a heartbreak, and those wonderful moments when you just begin the getting over part of that, and it just feels like an absolute nightmare, and you try to rush through it, but you can't quite do it. The room is approaching, but it's so fucking spooky when it's just it's fucking scary. But yeah, no, it's just very I'm trying to get better, and I think I am, I feel more fulfilled, I feel ready to move on, and, even though I don't have the ability to keep that person in my life romantically, but I do get to keep them in a friendly way, and we still are friends, and we hung out fairly recently, and it's great, and I really enjoyed it, and it wasn't awkward or uncomfortable. It was just fun, which is very nice for someone who's very always worried that I'm gonna say something stupid or do something wrong. But it is very interesting, because relationships, even if you personally may or may not consider them failed, you can still learn things from relationships, even if you consider them to be failures, right? And I think there's something nice about that, right? You meet a person and you don't click, and you start asking yourself, why don't we click? And sort of things, your issues that you have as a person sort of come up, and then you learn how to get over them, and you learn how to manage your character flaws. And I know it's usually very hard to admit that you do have character flaws, especially for me, because I try to always, it's even hard for me, because I always tried to project this idea of I've got it, no matter what it is, I've got it, and nothing will stop me. But that just not real. You can't be this ideal person all the time that you want to be, and you have to sort of be okay with it. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not be where you want to be, because in the end of the day, we'll never be perfect, right? No matter how much we want to, we'll never be the perfect person that we think we should be. And I think admitting that to yourself and embracing it is sort of a way to get better, and to reach a degree of peace of being like, I don't have to be perfect, I just have to be better. Oh no, the Roomba. Hide from it. Terrifying, Jesus Christ. This thing is so scary. It just bonked itself in a furniture. Yeah, me and the cat are hiding. It's okay, Nika. Come here. Yeah, we're together. Me and the cat are hiding from the Roomba together under the table. It's very nice. But yeah. So that's my advice for today, you guys. Admit your faults and don't necessarily strive to be perfect, but always strive to be better, because you as a person deserve to be better. And I think that's about the time for us to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed the artwork. I hope you enjoyed my rambling and my stupid, obvious life advice. And yeah, you guys, be safe, take care of yourself, drink some water, eat some food, and take a walk, because staying on the inside all day is very bad for you. So go to a park, chill out, and love yourself. I think that's important. Love yourself. Bye-bye.